You to come here today because we need you, the public's assistance, in identifying a victim in a homicide investigation that began on January 21st or 26th of this year. I just want to go ahead and say that in an effort to maintain the integrity of the investigation and the fact that this is a very active, ongoing investigation and we are very early in this investigation, we will not be taking any questions at the conclusion of this conference. Now, if you need me to go back and clarify anything that I said, or if you need me to repeat something, I'm more than happy to do that. But again, we're not going to take any questions at the conclusion of this conference. Okay. On the 26th of January, our agency received information from the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department regarding a potential homicide victim in Huntersville. That same day, Huntersville police officers obtained and executed a search warrant at 12237 Comanche Road in Huntersville. Later on that same day, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department assisted in our search efforts with a cadaver dog. Once that cadaver dog alerted to the presence of human remains on the property, the scene continued to be secured throughout the night so we could search it more in depth that following morning. The morning of the 27th, human remains were located in a shallow grave behind the mobile home that was located on that property. On January 27th, Christopher John Naylor was charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and concealing a death, and he is currently being held without bond at the Mecklenburg County Jail. We also identified another suspect in this case. Since the beginning of our investigation, that second suspect has been in custody in another state on unrelated charges. Detectives with our agency are seeking charges on that suspect. We do not believe there are any other individuals involved in this homicide. The two that we have identified are the sole suspects involved in this case. We have since located video of the suspected victim that's involved in this homicide. She's described as a white female, approximately 5'7" tall. So you can see in this still photo here, she's wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and dark shoes with white soles. She was also wearing a silicone ring on her left hand. It's believed that she was picked up on August 4th in the area of Sugar Creek and 85 at 2:15 in the morning by our two suspects. So we're going to show you two videos now. The first one is going to be in slow motion, and the second one is going to be in real time. So on August 4th, at about 2:41 in the morning, you can see the victim in the video that we obtained from the suspect's property. We know that it's kind of hard to make out a lot of detail in the video, but we're hoping somebody can recognize her or her distinct mannerisms. We suspect that the victim has been missing since about July 2021. We do not have any open missing persons cases in Huntersville, and we've been unable to locate any reported missing persons in the surrounding areas that match her description. So we're here asking you if you know anybody, particularly a female that matches this description, who's been missing from the area or the surrounding area since about July 2021, or you can identify this victim, we please ask that you contact Lieutenant Sean Freeson of the Criminal Investigations Division with our agency, and his number is 704-464-5354. And again, we have provided you guys with the videos and the still photo that we have. Let me know if you don't have it, and we will make sure that you get that at the end of this. That is all the information that we have right now. If you guys need me, again, to clarify something, or if you need me to repeat anything, please let me know. But again, we're not going to take any additional questions.
So she was not known to the suspects either?
I'm sorry?
The suspects don't know who she is either?
So that's still part of the investigation. Again, like I said, we're not going to answer. We don't have a lot of the answers right now. This is why we're coming to you guys. We're still very early in the investigation, so we don't know a lot of these answers yet.
And you said she doesn't match any missing persons reported in Charlotte, Huntersville area?
She does not. We have not been able to locate anybody that matches her particular description that's been missing. Again, we don't have any missing persons here in Huntersville, any open cases in Huntersville, but she doesn't match any of the other missing persons in the surrounding areas.
And you, to clarify, the surveillance video, is that from the suspect's property?
That is from the suspect's property, yes.
The second suspect in this case? Are you releasing the name?
Not yet, because we have not obtained the warrants yet.
And you said that suspect was arrested for a different crime in another state?
Correct. All right, well, thank you guys again for being here. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry, one quick question.
Sure.
You said, I know you can't say much, you said she was missing at the end of July. I just want to clarify, is it because of surveillance, this surveillance video that leads you to believe that she's been missing since July?
Correct. We believe that this person in the video is the victim in our homicide. And the suspects picked her up on August 4th of last year, 2021, at about 2:15 in the morning in the area of Sugar Creek and 85. So that's who we believe this is here in the video that was walking in front of the suspect's home at 2:41 that same morning. So that's really all the information that we have.
I guess I'm just trying to understand if she went missing in July, but the video is from August.
We're just trying to, just in case she went missing a little bit before that, we don't know exactly when she went missing or if she even was missing before that. We know after this date, we believe that this is the person that we located behind the property. Great. Again, thank you guys again for being here. Appreciate it.
Does everybody have you made contact, make sure you have this stuff before you, please. If anybody needs the elevator back down, you just go past the opening and you can see it on the left.
The great work by patrol officers and detectives of North Tryon Division so far in 2022. Overall violent crime is down 15% from last time. This includes drops of murders down 50%, rape is down 100%, and robberies are down 41%. Thus far, there are 31 gun seizures. That's a 7% increase from last year, so that's good. Officers initiated 808 traffic stops, that's up 70% from 2021, and there are 131 arrests in January, up 52% from 2021. So we have a lot of active cases. I know it's January, so I really don't want to highlight what detectives are already currently working on, but what I can say is all this work thus far from January, that's the hard work of everybody, including patrol, detectives, and we're going to hear from 4140 members. One, Officer Wiggins, he's coming up and he's going to highlight the great work that they're doing.
Thank you, Sergeant. Like Sergeant Stubblefield explained, I'm going to kind of lead you into what Project 4140 is and how it came about. 2018, the Charlotte City Council and CMPD came together to identify multiple violent crime corridors that include West Sugar Creek Road and I-85 area. These corridors are labeled corridors of opportunity, and they're deemed a priority for the city, emphasizing the violent crime reduction and area revitalization. The West Sugar Creek Road and I-85 corridors referring to the areas between West Sugar Creek Road, North Graham Streets. The Project 4140 gets its names because of exits 40 and exits 41 off Interstate 85, which respectively is West Sugar Creek Road and North Graham Street. In October 2018, Project 4140 was established to combat the historical crime trends and eliminate violent crime in that area. The project was developed and led by now retired Sergeant Troy Armstrong. Officers have worked to combat the crime by building strong relationships with businesses and patrons, familiarizing themselves with the area, and by ramping up criminal investigations in the area, taking more violent criminals and mainly the repeat offenders off the streets. A lot of these accomplishments have been made through better business practices discussions with these business owners, getting them to help combat crime through the better business practices. Also, a lot of operations are conducted in the district, whether it be multiple agency or just district-wide, to include our crime reduction unit coordinators, detectives, and patrol officers. Patrol plays a big part. They have a bunch of other responsibilities in the district, but they also help us a lot with intelligence and enforcing crime specifically in that area. Like I said, this process has been a collaboration with the businesses, city leadership, the district attorney's office, and other outside organizations. For more success under the 4140 project, I'm going to introduce Detective Sean Stewart.
Good morning, everyone. Detective Stewart, North Tryon Division. Project 4140, as my partner said, started in 2018. We hit the ground running in 2019. We saw an overall reduction in crime of 11% with a reduction of 23% for violent crime. 2020 and 2021 violent crime remained historically low, but we did start to see some increases in the property crime in the area. Moving to 2022, right now our violent crime is still currently looking at 50% lower than historical norms, with no robberies reported at this time. Property crime does still continue to remain elevated. Some other things to highlight is some of the programs and projects that we've worked on in collaboration with the city and with CMPD internal. One of those projects to include would be a camera pilot program that's coming hopefully this spring. That would be a city-led or a CMPD-led program that is in partnership with Duke Power and the local businesses in the area. That project is hopefully going to increase camera coverage, surveillance coverage in the area to, one, assist the businesses, assist our officers responding for information coming in, and also assist with investigations, proactive and reactive. Some other things to highlight through the investigation portion of it, our unit was involved in a vehicle theft and cloning investigation. That investigation led to the identification of 20 stolen vehicles and the seizure of multiple firearms and narcotics. That investigation was in partnership with the FBI, DMV, and SLED, among other agencies. Another investigation we'd like to highlight for the area when it comes to narcotics is a overdose death investigation that we worked. That investigation culminated in 20+ warrants for an individual, and one of those charges was death by distribution, which is a newer charge that came in December of 2018, I believe. We were one of the first units to charge that in Mecklenburg, and hopefully we'll see continued success. The collaboration, 4140 collaboration, has made an area of historically high crime safer over the past few years, promoting better conditions for residents and businesses, and we hope to continue that trend.
Okay, it's great to see representation from just about all of our local outlets here today, even if it is just virtually. And at this point in time, we'd like to open it up to questions to you. At first, let's keep those questions specific to our North Tryon presentation, as well as the area around exits 41 and 40. So at this time, we'll open it up.
please, to our media partners, use that raise your hand feature.
Please, to our media partners, use that raise your hand feature. Okay, we don't have any questions in reference to the North Tryon topic, so at this point in time, we will open it up to more general questions for the CMPD. Nate Morbido with WCNC. Good morning.
Nate, bear with us as we try to get you on audio.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me, Lieutenant?
I can hear you, sir.
So it's our understanding CMPD has increased its secondary employment rate for all large venues with events and games like those at Bank of America Stadium up to $63 an hour effective March 1st. Can you confirm that and tell us how the department came to that decision? An hour effective March 1st. Can you confirm that and tell us how the department came to that decision?
Well, I can't confirm that number right now, Mr. Morbido. What I can tell you is we are in conversation with our vendors and private business partners as we try to staff these events that fall outside of our normal duties. And we all know that we're getting more and more events each year, and the city of Charlotte and the region at large really leans on our officers to make those events happen. So we're also looking at ways to make sure that our officers working those events are taken care of. On the reverse end of that, we are in the process of communicating those changes back down throughout the organization to our officers, and they need to hear that information from us first before we start giving that information to the outside, and they hear that from you. Next question.
Got Susanna Black.
Ms. Black, good morning.
Hey, Lieutenant. Wanted to follow up with you on the shooting at the Lowe's shopping center on South Tryon Street yesterday. And I may have a couple follow-up questions after this, but first, is CMPD investigating whether the shooting was justified, and what is the protocol for that?
Sure. So, and you're always welcome to reference those other questions to us afterwards, as always. But of course, any time that any person within our jurisdiction discharges a firearm, that is one of the key elements of that investigation, is to determine, was that a justified shooting? We all know that every case is different. There's a number of circumstances that feed into every case, and all of those circumstances are taken into account as our detectives work through those cases.
Susanna has a follow-up question.
Ms. Black, go ahead with your follow-up.
So, thank you for that answer. Does CMPD know who the people are that the security guard shot at, and if they will face any charges?
So that investigation is continuing, and that's one of the things that has to be taken into account of. As we get more information with that case, that will be dispersed out through the Public Information Office. Any other questions? Ms. Black.
I do have one more follow-up, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Does CMPD know who the security guard was working for, if they were with Lowe's or maybe like a third-party security service?
Yes, we do know that information. That's not information that we're putting out at this time as we continue to work through that investigation. And to your earlier point, as we determine if that shooting was in fact justified.